I have a new CNN poll out that says basically the same thing as the Wall Street Journal poll says, which is Republicans are absolutely thrilled that they have a chance to vote for a candidate who stole nuclear secrets, a candidate who a New York judge called a rapist and said that the jury, in effect, called him a rapist, a candidate who stole secret war plans for an invasion of Iran, a candidate who stole assessments of America's military and where it's the weakest, a candidate who showed classified material after he was out of the White House and admitted that he wasn't supposed to be showing this classified material and that it was classified and he couldn't declassify it because he was no longer president of the United States, a president who is under trial for illegal payments to a porn star, hush money payments to a porn star. And the Republican Party of 2023 says, yeah, give me more of that.
Yeah, that's right. That's where we are. You know, it's kind of funny. We were anticipating the first Republican primary debate, thinking that it might actually shift some of the ground for this election. Fact of the matter is, it changed nothing. These indictments, these court cases, Trump's legal troubles are way more definitive, way more determinative on the course of this primary than anything else, and in ways that sort of defy logic, right? The more trouble he gets in, the more that the legal system is stacked up against him, the more that Republican primary voters rally to his side. And those poll numbers that you just had up from that CNN poll show a real split here. I mean, the Republican voting electorate seems to find these cases not a big deal. They are very dismissive of the charges. They don't think it disqualifies Trump at all. The larger voting electorate does find them, with the maybe exception of the hush money case, does find them to be disqualifying. And, you know, that in theory creates a real problem for the Republican Party in about 4 or 5 months' time, because everything we know about this primary is that it's a glide path for Trump. There's no incentive for him to participate in any of the forthcoming debates after what just happened with the first one. All he has to do, he's barely campaigning. All he really has to do is just sort of stay put and win with the current voting electorate that he has. And then the Republican Party's got a real quagmire on its hands.